course, it's Kamaru Usman that we got here back on the program. Sean Strickland, UFC 210, April 8th up in Buffalo, New York. You just told me before we started taping that you feel like you're ready to fight now, but there's still 3 weeks left before the fight starts.
Yeah, I am. I'm ready to fight now.
So, what are you going to do for the 3 weeks to kind of keep it together?
What I need to do is I kind of have to, taper down a bit, and then, you know, and look to, peak at the right time, because that's something I don't want to do is peak early and then, go to the fight burned out. I mean, like I'm always in the gym. I'm always training. So one thing about me is I don't really have an off season. I don't really take that much time off. And so, now it's, now that I have a fight lined up, it only takes me a couple of weeks, maybe 4 weeks at the max, to get fight shape, to get ready. And so, I just kind of have to control myself, make sure that the injuries don't occur now, because my body is ready. It's ready to go.
So in the middle of this, Black Zillions had a shift. They shifted gyms. You guys had to go to a different spot. So where are you training right now? Like, where's your spot?
I mean, I'm training at what essentially happened is basically Henry wanted to kind of, start his own, program and kind of do his own thing, which is understandable.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, every coach is going to want something for themselves, wants to be their own boss. And so Henry wanted to make that shift. So he kind of started his own gym, which is mainly a stand-up gym, and so, I still work with my same guys. Most of our guys shifted over there. So I still train with Anthony Johnson, Michael Johnson, Rashad Evans. I still train with, our core guys. I still have my jiu-jitsu coach, George Santiago, who also kind of started his own little gym. So all our gyms are still in close proximity, maybe 4 miles apart from each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I still have my coaches. Nothing really changed for me.
So there's talk of the Black Zillions getting a new spot, a bigger spot, a better spot. If that comes to fruition, is the whole team going to shift back over to that new spot, or will it just be a few guys and it'll still be be a split between the Henry Hoof gym and then Black Zillions? Like how is that going to work, or do you not know?
I'm not sure. I don't really know. It depends on the guys. All right, you know how it is when guys get comfortable in a certain situation, a certain spot with a certain routine. Some guys, it's harder for them to make that shift. Within this whole process and the time from that being done, some guys might settle in to this routine and this, and so it might have a hard time for them to break that and leave and go somewhere else. But, I mean, to each his own. If it happens, it happens.
So let's talk about Sean Strickland. What kind of things does he bring to the table that you have to watch out for? I mean, you're 9-1, he's 18-1, so he's got double the wins that you do, but still, it's a pretty decent matchup for you. This is a pretty well match made. So what's Sean bring to the table?
Yeah, I mean, he's a very tough guy. That's one thing about me is I like to study a lot on my opponents, so I don't like to overlook anybody. He's a tough guy that I think should be ranked, because he's got some names under his belt. He's got some wins, and he's a technical striker. He's got jiu-jitsu as well on his back. He's pretty good, and he's all around. He's good at everything. He's not terrible at anything. And but I think I'm a more dominant athlete. I'm a more dominant fighter. A lot of guys haven't really seen all of my skill set, and so I just kind of need to keep which is I think it was what makes it every time I step the cage, it's different. You get a different type of opponent. A lot of guys think I'm going to wrestle, then I just come in there and I attempt one takedown my last fight, strike with the guy the whole time. Or you think I'm going to come out and strike with you now. I might just come out and wrestle, take you down, and maybe submit you. So, I continuously work on each and every one of my game. He's a tough guy, but, I'm tougher for sure.
And so when you say you're tougher, what does that that come down to? What does it actually mean when you say you're tougher than somebody?
It comes down to, first of all, mentally, because you have to be here in order to excel at this sport.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's mano a mano. Both guys are in there, and you got to duke it out. And
Yeah.
it's going to come down to who's tougher, and mentally. And I know I'm tougher mentally. I've been through situations all through my life that he hasn't. So not saying he hasn't been through any situations, but I know what I've been through, and I know what it takes to get to a guy like me, and I'm not breaking for anyone. And then also just he's a technical striker, but I think I'm better.
Okay.
A lot of people haven't seen that because I've only used it when I needed to or when I want to. And so I think I'm better there, and I think my wrestling, of course, is better. And his jiu-jitsu is good, but I think I'm more dominant with mine, mixed with everything. And so at the end of the day, this is mixed martial arts, and I think I mix it up better than, if not everybody in the division right now.
Yeah, and you're ranked 11th, and Sean is technically unranked right now, according to UFC.com. How come they didn't give you a ranked opponent, though? I mean, because you seem like you're trying to get yourself into the top 10, you're trying to break into that top 5, but you can't do it if you're fighting guys that aren't ranked. How is this fight going to benefit you? Were there other names that got thrown at you? The deals just didn't come together, and it's time to fight, and so you had to take the next guy they gave to you? Or, how come you don't have a ranked opponent in front of you?
Essentially, that's kind of how it came down to. But all of the ranked opponents that I wanted, that I called out, had either fought or were about to fight.
Okay.
And so I wanted Dong Young Kim, but he had just fought Trigg, and so I think he was hurt, and so he's taking time off, and so I couldn't get him. I wanted Matt Brown. He just came off of a second or third straight loss, and so he's gonna take a little time off. There was just a lot of guys like Jake Ellenberger had already fought. He had already fought. The other guy was ranked at the time, I think, was Tumanov, and he had just lost to Leon Edwards, who I actually beat. And so, it was just so hard to get those ranked guys in there. Went up the list. Damian Maya, that wasn't gonna happen.
Right.
So it was just pretty much, I needed a fight. I didn't want to just be a sitting duck waiting for someone, eventually. And they said, hey, we have this guy. We want to get him a fight. He's a tough guy. And I looked at his resume. I mean, he's a tough guy. Although he's not ranked, I think he should be ranked. I think he's good enough to be ranked. And, I think it's a good test for me to see where my striking is at, because this guy's not bad anywhere. He's a solid.
And so, unfortunately, though, from a ranking standpoint, I do believe, I agree with you. I think Strickland actually should be ranked as well. I think you should be ranked a little bit higher. I think he should be ranked just right beneath you. But both of you should be in the top 10, if I'm looking at this correctly. But I don't vote on the rankings, so what the hell does my opinion count? But for you, though, because you are technically ranked, if you lose to this guy, your ranking's gone. They're going to pull you out of the top 15. But if he beats you, he jumps right into pretty much like the 8th spot or the 9th spot. So it's like one of those weird things that, like, if you win, you're going to stay at 11. But if you lose, you're out of the top 15, which is kind of silly because you're losing to an unranked guy. But this guy should be ranked. So it's one of those really bad mathematical problems that you're having in MMA, which of course means that what has to happen is that you can't lose, and you got to make sure that you finish him so that you can get moved up in the rankings as well. Does that come play into your head sometimes when you're going through the last round and you're like, crap, I just got punched in the face again by Rashad, or this is the 15th takedown that he's attempted on me, and you want to go time just for a minute, but you're like, I can't. I got to make sure I get through this. Like, does that play into your head when you're going through these rounds?
I mean, you broke it down really nicely. It has to, and when you're preparing for a fight, any fight, you go through that roller coaster of emotion, and this is also an added pressure into it. Is hey, you got to beat this guy up. I mean, this guy, although I think he should be ranked, you got to beat him because he doesn't have a number next to his name, so you got to beat him up, but. I approach it like I approach every fight. I feel like I'm learning each and every day, and I'm on a path to be the best in the world in my division. And so, with that comes each and every guy in the division. So at some point, I'm going to have to fight each and every guy that they throw at me. And so, when you become the best, hey, they're going to throw anybody at you, the next guy at you, or the next guy, or the next guy, or the next guy. And you have to be ready to prove, that you're the best at any given moment. And so, of course, it's a dangerous fight, but at the end of the day, I'm approaching it like I approach each and every one of my fight. And, I'm going to go out there and get the W, if not the finish.
I like it. Cameron, thanks so much for coming on here. I appreciate it. I know it's late at night for you, and it's a long week already, and it's only Thursday. You still got a couple more days left of working out. So I know that it's time for you to get ready for bed and get your daughter down, too, because I can hear her in the background. So.
Oh, yeah, man. She's right there. I'm surprised she's being this good the whole time. Can you say hi?
Hi, honey.
Can you say hi? She's being good sitting next to me. She wanted to play and run around and scream.
She's getting better with this whole mess. She understands when Dad's got to do interviews, she knows she has to be a little quiet, which is great.
Oh, yeah. And you should see her. When I'm fighting and she can't go, she's home watching on TV and screaming.
That's great.
Yeah. You don't want to say hi?
Hi. No. It's okay. You can be shy. It's the beard. Yeah. It throws everybody off. It's the beard.
Thanks a lot, Frank. Yeah,
hey, man. Thanks so much, man. Enjoy the rest of your training camp. Say hi to all the fellas for me down there, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Thank you.